Well, Adam, tell us what you watched.
All right. Well, I went to see the other new release here. I went to see Blue Beetle with the family. What is a Blue Beetle, you may ask? Well, I want to tell you. Blue Beetle is a DC property. It is kind of a weird film to get in, or kind of excited for, and my daughter was really excited for it. I was kind of on the fence for it because it falls in this gray area where it's the end of the old DCEU cycle, but right before James Gunn's new cycle of DC movies. He supposedly said the character of Blue Beetle played by Xolo Mariduena, which I know I mispronounced his name, but he's supposed to carry over as one of the first characters into this new DC realm. Very confusing how they're doing their whole timeline. But anyway, this movie, Blue Beetle, is directed by Angel Manuel Soto, and it follows a guy named Jaime Reyes as he is kind of goes back to town after graduating college, and he's looking for a job because his family's about to lose their house, and he bumps into this lady who is the niece of, or her name's Jenny Cord, who is the niece of Susan Sarandon's character, Victoria Cord, who's the kind of the overseer of this evil corporation. So Jenny Cord steals this item and puts it in a hamburger box and passes it off to Jamie, and she tells him not to open it. His family coerces him to open it up, and it has this scarab in it, which gives him this ability that actually chooses him to become the new Blue Beetle. And of course, it gives him powers, and it kind of plays off like Iron Man, to be honest. And I think that's where the biggest comparison of it is. It feels like it's an Iron Man kind of rip-off character. And honestly, I don't know too much about the Blue Beetle from the comics. I do know it made some Teen Titans appearances and some of those animated Batman movies that I like a lot. However, what this movie does really well is it brings this Latin culture into the forefront, and actually all the family dynamics are like spot on. Speaking for somebody who has a lot of those dynamics played in my life with my family, I absolutely enjoyed the comedy and the comedic moments that the family does have because it's relatable. George Lopez is extremely funny. He has a little too much screen time to be like a minor character, but he would have been a nominee if he had a little shorter screen time for me. I really liked a lot of the main actors here, but the movie does feel just disjointed when you get one of the worst performances of the year played by Susan Sarandon as Victoria Cord. I don't know. There's some of her line delivery is just basically reading off a line. Kind of what criticism that Cherry brought up with Casey Affleck in Dreaming Wild a couple weeks ago. It feels like I'm just doing this thing, and it doesn't really feel like there's like a bigger picture thing. It feels really kind of generic at times and feels really kind of self-contained. However, it's an extremely fun movie that I can definitely see myself watching with the family quite a bit. And the overall entertainment value does push it over to 3 stars. For me, it's not like one of the best. It's better than The Flash. I would definitely say I think it's better than The Flash. It's more rewatchable than that one. However, it's just weird because where does it fall in between in the DC realm? Because the new regime and the old regime, it is quite interesting there. But there's some really good characters there. Has some Mission Impossible vibes from the first one with the bubblegum sequence. There's some Watchmen in there, some Iron Man. There's a really like a bunch of little spots they picked from different films that I was like, oh yeah, there's this, maybe this reference here. Entertaining, kind of generic, but overall a fun time with the family. And I think if you have kids, your kids will like it as well. So there's my Blue Beetle review. So
way better than Brother Bear.
Correct.
Sure,
and Pete Conrad.
It did play a good homages to like this 1970s superhero character as well, for, like in Mexico. It's like this plunger man. I don't know the character's name. They say it several times, and my wife actually remembered it because they made a live action version. So there's definitely places a good homage to the Latin community too. So it's cool to see like a superhero that is brown being in the forefront. And I hopefully they do another film or do something with this character, because I feel like the main actor does a really great job with it, and there's some really good likable moments in there. So quite good, entertaining.